Hello and welcome to this segment of Inside Shakeology, your destination for Shakeology news, updates, and information. I'm Sandy Buadana from Team Beachbody.
And I'm Darren Oline, the formulator of Shakeology, and we're here to answer some of your questions.
Well, our topic today is staying healthy during the holidays. And we've brought a guest on today, and that's Ani Artunians. And she's the Senior Manager of Nutrition and Culinary Development here at Beachbody. Hi, Ani.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
Very welcome. Okay, our first question. How can Shakeology help you to stay healthy during the holidays?
Well, I have a few tips that I can give on how Shakeology can help you. But most of all, when we go to parties, we anticipate a huge meal for the party, and we tend to starve ourselves, go there, and then overeat. Well, Shakeology is the perfect solution. You can have a shake for yourself before you go to a party. It curbs your appetite and helps you not overeat during that event. That's one way. Darren, do you have any other?
Well, I would echo that because, it's that whole thing of I'm so picky about what I eat. So at least I know what I'm getting before I head over there, and then I don't have to just grab anything and kind of react to my natural hunger.
Correct. And sweet treats are especially dangerous during holidays. You go and eat cakes and pies. And I think maybe if you prepare a nice, quote-unquote, dessert with Shakeology or a snack and take it with you, that way you can have that instead of the regular pies and cakes, and then it curbs your sweet cravings that you have.
And you may even be the star of the party.
You
Hey, I have
be the star
I have
of the
a healthy alternative snack, and here it is.
We'll ask you what's in that,
exactly.
and then you.
Okay, it's obvious that you don't get tempted by the sweets, but you're saying go on a full stomach and you'll be reducing the chances of getting tempted.
Absolutely. And drink a lot of water, too, before you go. That helps as well. I have a few little recipes I can talk about, the things that I make during the holidays and take with me. Do you want to hear about that?
Uh-huh.
I have a perfect recipe. It's called pumpkin spice protein balls. I make it with pumpkin puree, either fresh, that you can cook and puree yourself, or you can buy it from in a can. It's also 100% pure, but just make sure it's BPA-free cans.
BPA-free is one of those things that happens with plastic and processing and cans and stuff like that, so you can actually stay away from that. It kind of is a hormone disruptor, so it's one of those things you want to stay with. And, of course, organic whenever possible.
Exactly. So avoid that. But I add natural unsweetened almond butter, the pumpkin puree, a little bit of raw honey, and because this isn't cooked, you have all the benefits from the raw honey still in there. Some uncooked dry oats, our vanilla or vegan chocolate Shakeology, a few scoops of that, and pumpkin pie spice. I mix it all in a bowl, and I roll it into small little balls. You can also, have some unsweetened coconut flakes and roll them in coconut flakes. It looks prettier for a party. Mm-hmm. And then I refrigerate it, and it's great. People love it. And it'll be a conversation for people to ask you what it is. And
Sounds delicious. Where can I get the recipe?
it's actually on our Shakeology blog under tips and tricks.
Sounds great. I'm just bummed you didn't bring any for us right now.
I'm so sorry. Next time, I promise I'll bring some.
Okay, good.
All right, sounds really good. Let's go to what about people that are traveling during the holidays? How do they stay consistent with their health, with Shakeology, and especially if they don't have a blender?
Oh, that's a good one because, I travel quite a lot. And I think it comes down to how far you're traveling. That makes a difference certainly to me. Like if you are a shorter trip, maybe in the United States, and you're just going a few states in a couple hours, then for me, I always like to front load, have a good meal beforehand, something you can control. And if it's a few hour flight, cool, get some water and you can cruise through the flight. And I don't really eat any of the airplane food because I certainly am not going to roll the dice on that stuff. But if you're on a longer flight, then for something, I am always on longer flights, I always prepare my food. I've made burritos, I've made multiple salads, I've brought nuts and snacks and dried fruit and all of that stuff. And of course, a little travel pack of Shakeology. I have my little BPA-free container,
Uh-huh.
and I easily get some water from somebody or buy some water there, and I can have a Shakeology too. So there's many options.
And if you want to take a small blender, like a travel blender with you, so in the hotel room, if you want to add, some almond butter or some ice to your shake, at least you have that in the hotel so you can prepare, a more hearty shake for
Absolutely.
yourself. Yeah.
Totally. The easiest thing to do, especially now that we have the boosts and everything, it's like every day I'm gone, I add up how many Shakeologies I'm grabbing, and those little convenient, one size serving packets are awesome. So I just go, okay, I'm gone for 10 days. There's 10, maybe even double in case I find a day that need to double up and there's some travel in there. And then I add in, the boosts and greens and all of that stuff because I'm a real proponent of being very healthy while you're traveling. And if you can boost up and stay on top of your health, certainly it's going to make holidays better.
Right.
And family sometimes can be challenging. So if you're feeling strong, it's just a much better situation.
It sounds like the best advice is to stay consistent. So even if you are traveling, don't skip your good health.
Absolutely.
Most of our listeners are not traveling to Peru and back like you are, but they are going home for the holidays. And so your advice would be to plan ahead, plan meals ahead, drink a lot of water. What about sleep? Is sleep important?
Sleep's crazy important. And, you certainly want to make sure you're sleeping great beforehand. For me, whenever I'm excited about a trip, I never really sleep that well. So there's that.
Speaking of sleep, when you travel, sometimes you're really busy and again, your schedule is thrown off and your meals are all over the place. And the one thing is, I don't know if it happens during the holidays, but it's possible. If you go to sleep with an empty stomach, sleep is disrupted too. And if you go to sleep with a very heavy meal, again, sleep is disrupted. So you don't want that to happen.
And little things like, when the brain subconsciously gets used to all of those kind of noises and stuff from home. Like I'm a big fan of putting an eye mask on and some earplugs and boom, I can, then you're not taking in these weird, maybe a hotel room or wherever you're staying has got weird lights and that can disrupt the sleep too. So, it's those little things plus your health, I think can really add up to be
Disruptors.
great. Yeah.
You mentioned a little bit about the holidays, Ani. Do you have a favorite holiday shake that you're thinking of? And you know what? Here at Beachbody, there's a holiday almost every month. So even if it's not Thanksgiving or Christmas, we've got things that go on every month. So is there something that you've done with ingredients that you want to share?
I sure do. I love spice. So I add a lot of spice to my shakes. And growing up, developing recipes, especially for the Hispanic market, the one that I really like a lot is adding cayenne pepper and cinnamon to our chocolate Shakeology, making like a Mexican chocolate version,
Nice.
A holiday version of our shakes.
That
I really
sounds
love
yummy.
that. Mm-hmm.
Darren, how do you spice up your Shakeology?
I'm always playing with stuff, and the thing I've been looking at a little bit is essential oils. So I'll throw in a little drop of pure organic essential oil, mint or peppermint,
Uh-huh.
and that immediately gets me thinking about the holidays because it has that kind of tingle to it. And so with vegan chocolate, with a bunch of boosts, and then a little essential oil, that hits me right in the holiday mouth.
Well, I'm going with a favorite of mine, and that's whenever I find frozen cherries.
Uh-huh.
I like to throw that in my tropical with almond milk and a banana, and I just love the tropical feel. So for me, the holidays are tropical.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, so I'm going to throw this question to you, Darren, because you seem to be the healthiest guy here. How do you handle it when you're around unhealthy people? How do you stick to your healthy habits when others around you are not really that
Yeah,
healthy?
great question. I see people get yanked around by that a lot. And first off, no one is in control of your health more than you. So if you're going to a party and you don't know the people, then you definitely want to prepare them for what you like and what you don't. So aside from all the things we talked about before about preparing yourself, like Shakeology or eating, you want to let people know, hey, you know what? I don't eat meat and dairy. So I let them know. Don't go out of your way. And if you have something, awesome. Just let me know what it is when I show up. And most often, people respect that.
Yeah.
The hosts of parties that I found is that they want to know because they're actually preparing and serving you and they're choosing to have a party. So it's really a good thing that you just let them know. And maybe give them some little advice because some people may get a little overwhelmed and get stressed, like, oh my God, a vegan's coming and I don't even know what that is. And then you say, hey, you know what? If you just throw a salad in there and don't throw any dairy on it and I can do whatever and I'm easy, that's kind of, my approach. But, you want to be proactive as much as possible and you want to control your world because there's nothing worse than having the holidays happen and just kind of being, quote unquote, the victim of your circumstance. And when you're hungry, that's a very primal need. And so you're just going to grab, right? So if you have at least prepared yourself before you leave, then at least you're way ahead of the game.
Or again, if you can offer to bring a few dishes to the party, and not only are you
Bingo.
helping them out with the amount of work they have, but you're taking something that you can eat in case there isn't something you can grab, because depending on how close you are to the host, right?
Yeah.
You may not be able to tell them what to make, but you can always offer something to take with you.
Absolutely. And it kind of reminds me, it's a great point because I've even come to the place sometimes where they haven't, right? They had it
Correct.
catered and they don't really have the control anymore. So I'm like, hey, is it cool if I bring my own and then we can kind of secretly put it on the plates and no one even really knows
Exactly.
and it's all good. And that to me is that self-affirming, like this means something to me and I feel better and I'm not kind of now waking up the next day feeling bad about myself for going off of my program.
And what a way to set an example to people, right?
Exactly.
Well, I think it's about staying true to who you are and not making the holidays feel any more stressful than they have to be and having fun.
Yeah.
So if you are going to have fun and you do end up going a little overboard and eating either too much or unhealthy foods, how do you get back on track?
Well, forgive yourself, because a lot of people, the self-judgment and the, oh my God, and then they throw everything away because there's those people that, hey, I screwed up, so I might as well just keep screwing up, right? So you want to say, hey, listen, it was a choice. It was last night or it was a meal. Don't worry about it. The body's amazing. So you don't have to perpetuate that. And then, get with what you know. Get back on track. I mean, if you're, off track, the 3-day refresh is great. And you jump in with Shakeology to kind of get you back going, at least in that direction again,
Great advice, Darren. Thank you. Forgive yourself. That's what we need to do around the holidays, but especially when you fall off the wagon, is to get right back up. And don't forget to get back into your fitness program too. So not just nutrition, but fitness as well. Thank you to both of you. This was a great segment. Ani, thank you.
Thank
I'd love
you.
to have you again. If you have any topics you'd like us to cover in the future, go ahead and email us at shakeologypanel@beachbody.com.
And tune in next month as we hit another installment of Inside Shakeology.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.